言。So next presenter gonna be speak in Chinese, so we can choose different language and different slides, and you can see which one you prefer. OK， 所以呢，下一位呢是我们的苏菲张老师。苏菲张呢来自于纽约，那么有金融学士学位呢，也在这个学习了2年的营养哦，是非常有经验的。那现在呢，他是在纽约非常大一个连锁的医疗中心呢，做一个健康的顾问。应该是健康顾问经理啊，那帮助这个应该是说生病的人呢，怎么样减少一些药物，然后走向一个健康啊。那我知道苏菲老师呢，在以前在接触 USANA 的时候呢，也是因为在做一个轻体的时候呢，接触 USANA 啊。那么呢，一路的奔跑，曾经非常的斐然，所以他是一个非常非常好的一个leader。那现在呢，是我们的翡翠董事，同一时间也是我们 CeleV 的代言人。那今天呢，他将为我们来分享 U 事业入门，那怎么将我们的努力最大化。接下来呢，让我们用热情的掌声呢，欢迎我们的苏菲张老师。
Hello, thank you, Maggie. Can you hear me? Maggie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Hear you.
Thank you so much. It's great to see everyone here online. I'm so glad for your invitation. Hi, my name is Sufi from New York. I'm with USANA for 13 years. And then it's been like, this feels like the 13 years that's been going really quickly. I first joined USANA because of my health problem, and that's my starting reason. But the thing is, like, at the same time, you know, I also was losing my job at that time. So I was trying to look for another business opportunity. But, you know, before I started to understand the USANA difference, and before I understand how USANA, what kind of company that is, I really did not like put into the effort. So I was only like a customer for a while. And then until I started to understand it, I think this is my 6th week join USANA. I started to understand the meaning of being a plan Pacesetter. And so I only got 2 weeks to become plan Pacesetter. And I'm so glad that I finally understand it, and I did not miss that chance. So I'm glad that everyone here all become plan Pacesetter. So congratulations to all of you. So I'm here today to share some of my business experience, sharing my experience how to change myself from a customer to become a leader, to become an entrepreneur, and then to become a leader. Okay, next, please. Okay, so I hope everyone needs to understand the essence of direct selling. It's really a system and plus a duplication. So all we need to do is just need to simplify complex tasks and repeat simple tasks, and also enjoy the process altogether. Next, please. The 10th thing that I want. This 10th thing I would like everyone to understand it before you guys can become a really like a entrepreneur or even a leader. So I would list it out and then explain some. Is someone muted the background?
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, so the 10th thing that I would like people to understand, and I will focus on some stuff that later on. So first thing is like, I want everyone to stay focused, set position, set goals. And also, as soon as you join in as a member and decided to do USANA business, I would like everyone to check out the website and complete the ethic course. Be familiar with all USANA products and set up order. Well, the reason is because, you know, if you're not familiar with the order, with all USANA product, like for example, if people can somebody mute it? Okay. So be familiar with all products, very important, because if your customer were asking you, how do you like the Hepaso? If your answer is like, oh yeah, I do take the Hepaso. I take like 2 scoops a day. If people hear you that, then they know that you are not familiar with USANA product, right? So that means you need to understand. Even though at the very beginning I did not try everything, I tried the most important thing. I started with Health Pack and Ginkgo because I feel like I started to become very forgetful. So those are the 2 first products that I was taking, and I really love it. And then I started to take little by little. And then after a while, I think I started to take everything. I take all USANA product, including Palmetto Plus. But right now, I don't need to take Palmetto Plus no more because it does like good for the skin. So complete the PPS status, which is you guys did a great job. So I'm glad. And you guys are able to get all USANA's like 15% maximize your benefit. And also after that, you need to make a contact list and learn to prospect and inviting. ABC rules: cooperate effectively with an advisor and becoming an advisor as soon as possible. Because the sooner you become advisor, the sooner you can work individually and also independently. But I don't want you to become independently 100%, like most likely, you'll be working independently if without, your upline is right next to you, but it's very, very important. But of course, going to a convention, normally having like a team meeting, that's also very important. Be familiar with USANA difference. It's very, very important because, we got to know what is the best about USANA and what's the USANA difference. And I'm glad that, one of the speaker also mentioned about the 4 quadrant. That's also a very, very good topic, and everyone needed to understand. You need to focus and you need to understand which quadrant you're at and which quadrant that you would like to stay at. Learn how to respond to the common questions. Like, for example, like customer have, right? And learn how to deal with rejection. Like, for example, if people tells you, what is USANA is so expensive, I don't have the money to take it. How are you gonna answer them? Or if people say that, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do USANA business. How are you gonna deal with them? So these are the common questions that people have. Next, please. Stay focused. Okay. Set position. Set goals. So stay focused is like, I'm pretty sure everyone here today is you already decided that you are going to do USANA business, right? So my question is, you should ask yourself, should I or must I? That kind of mindset is completely different. Should I? It's like, okay, maybe I got a good life, I got a good job. Maybe, I could do this to get additional income. So that will give you like a different motivation. But if my focus is like, must I, then, I will try my best, right? Set position. Okay. What do you set your position? Are you thinking yourself as like a consumer? So if you set yourself as a consumer, then you need to start consistently using the USANA product daily on time and in the right dosage as soon as possible. Okay. Because, for example, I have one of my downlines, she told me that, oh, I've been taking USANA NutriMill, but I still feel hungry. It doesn't fill me up. So I said, what is the dosage that you're taking? She's like, I use 2 scoops. Supposedly you're supposed to use 3. What I'm taking is like, I put 3 scoop of the NutriMill, 1 scoop of Fiber G, and 1 scoop of the protein. That really fills me up. But if she only put in like 2 scoop of NutriMill, and of course, she's gonna feel hungry, and she even split that with one of her family members. So she basically only get half dosage for that. And of course, it's not the right dosage, and she complained that she's still hungry. So that's why I want to specifically mention that people need to take the right dosage. So the reason that you're taking this daily on time, taking the product in the right dosage on time, and it's because, you know, if you're taking the right dosage consistently daily, and you will see the changes. You will feel like, you know, in a week, I feel like my memory has back, you know. And also, I used to be like really overweighted because, you know, diabetes that runs my family. I gain weight easily, you know, and I love sugars. I love cake. I love like 1 cup of coffee. I could put in like 6 to 8 bags of sugars. That's how much sugar that I love. And I feel like, you know, I just gain weight easily, and I was craving for sugars. So the heaviest weight that I had, I'm only 5'3". The heaviest weight I had was 167 pounds. So when I get to the point that I could not take it no more, I don't want to like take pictures. I don't want to take pictures no more. And then I feel like I'm like a pig. And then I really don't enjoy my life like that. I don't enjoy my look. So I did try like go swimming before, but then maybe I could lose like 10 pounds to 20 pounds in the whole summer by swimming 5 to 6 days a week and at least like 1.5 hours a day. But in this kind of busy life, who's gonna do that? Who has this kind of luxury time to do that? So after I stopped doing that, and I gained all my weight back. So that was like really before my life, you know, before I was like knowing USANA. So after I was taking USANA, can you go to the next picture, please? Okay, so this is a picture that this one, right? The first one is the picture that I was 167 pounds. And then this picture on the right side, it was right before I joined USANA. Remember, I joined USANA on October 2010. And this is how I look like, no filter, right? You could see my color of my skin. It's like, I feel like I'm bloated. I feel like my face was swollen. And my liver enzyme was like getting too high that I had to probably needed to take medication. But, you know, at that time, I was so lucky that I was introduced by my upline. And then he let me know the USANA difference. And then I started to, you know, that's how I started to get to know USANA. And then that's how I started to take USANA product consistently. And in 6 months, you could see the picture on the left side. That's how I look like. That at that time, I was 98 pounds. So I lost more than 67 pounds. And I kind of feel like, you know, it's a little too skinny, even though I you know, I didn't look too bad, right? I didn't look too skinny. But I feel like on my height, like a perfect weight for me is between 110 to 115. So for this past 13 years, I'm so glad that after I've been taking USANA product and I changed my lifestyle, and my sugar level, I feel like it's been very, very stable. So I don't have the craving for the sugars no more. Not as much as before. I don't have the craving for all this junk food. And also I've been, you know, eating more healthy food, healthy lifestyle, doing some exercise. And, you know, I'd be able to keep it off for the past 13 years. Next one, please. Next picture, please. Okay, so this is a picture on, can you guys tell which one is before and which one is after? I always ask people. The one on the right side, you guys can, if you guys can see the date, it's 2013, which is 11 years ago. I was wearing the same shirt. And the picture that I took on the left side is a Disney trip that I just won from the Elevate trip with USANA. So I'm wearing the same shirts, and you can see my figure is still the same. That's why I'm so glad that for this past 13 years, I'm being able to taking the product consistently, and my health is always being remained at the optimal level, much, much better than my health level 13 years ago. So that's why if you treat yourself as a consumer, you need to take the product on time. So then you will be like a living billboard, And when people see you, even though you don't need to open your mouth, people may ask you, how did you do that? Why you could be like that, right? Okay, so next one, please. Okay, if you think yourself it's a entrepreneur, okay, then you need to approach team leaders, right? And you need to approach the company and other successful leaders. You need to learn and listen and follow instructions and set goals. So that's how you treat yourself as an entrepreneur. And if you treat yourself as a leader, then definitely you need to do more, right? You got to duplicate the whole process and create more leaders and add like a healthy cells. So just like, Dr. Marwins always talk about healthy cells, they continue dividing. So same thing when you do your business, you need to act like a healthy cell and you need to create, more and more leaders and don't be like a free radical, right? And even with your business, we don't need free radical. We need to be far away with those like negative person, negative energy. So if you're treating yourself and your business treating yourself like a healthy cell, and you will be acting, like a sunshine, and you could attract more and more like positive people that's around you. Okay, so number 3 is to set goal. Be specific and set a time frame. So set a time frame is very, very important. Okay. So when I do my dream board, my mentor always teach me, you gotta set a time frame. When you gotta be completing your PPS, and if you want to be a goal director, what year that you will want to become a goal director. And so how many people that you're going to talk a day? How many people that is going to be in your organizations? So in the time frame, right? It's very, very important. So when you set a goal, it does not necessarily means like, it's a fantasy. Because without a time frame, then your goal will be a fantasy, right? So long-term goal, and it's like, for example, you want to live free, you want to live debt free, you want to like buy a car, you want to buy a house. So I remember I set my long-term goal a long time ago was like 10 years. I would like to buy my dream house. And I'm so lucky that every time, when I look back on my first dream board, I complete my goal. I complete my long-term goal way before, like my time frame. And then medium-term goal, let's say, okay, I want to be a goal director. So how long? How long do you think that you become a goal director? 2 years? 3 years? Be realistic, right? Or maybe like 4 years? So if my goal is to 2 years, I could become a goal director. So that means like how many people that I got to invite per weeks and how many presentation I got to do or how many like company events that I'll be hosting. So that's also like a midterm goal. So when I set that with my mentor, I become a goal director like a year, 2 months. So which is 14 months, I become a goal director. And so I have to put a date on it. And because when you put the date on it, it kind of like reminds you because, you see your dream board every single day and it reminds you that this is my goal. And your short-term goal, okay, so let's say you're a plan Pacesetter, that's 8 weeks, right? So 8 weeks, and each week, how many people I got to talk to? How many people I got to invite? So same thing. So you got to be very, very specific. Make this dream board, and we need to follow up with our customer or even your team member. If you're treating this as a business, you got to follow up every single day. Because I heard it from one of the mentors say that the wealth lies in the follow-up. If you don't follow up, your customer is not gonna like contact you directly, or the money is gonna like fly toward you, right? You agree? Okay, next one, please. Okay, so for your contact list, I recommend everyone to write down everyone at least 200 people. Everyone means it could be your family members, it could be your friends, it could be your coworker. It could be also like you go to gym, and it could be like your body trainer, right? Or it could be anyone that you know, because statistically, most of us will meet around 80,000 people in the course of our life. So I'm not asking you to write down 80,000, only 200. It's really, really simple. Don't tell me that, oh, I have like 1,000 contact lists in my phone. If you put that in your phone, you're not going to remember, and you're not going to remember to contact them. But if you put them in your contact list and you try to group them, it'll help you to have a better idea which person that I should contact to, which people that it's an easier group that I should approach to. Number 2 is never prejudge. Don't ever say, oh, I don't think this person has enough money to take USANA. Don't think about that. I remember when I first joined USANA, I lost my job. I got laid off. I don't even have the money to get started. But then, I really, I'm sick of my weight and my look. So I feel like, I have to I have to change my life. So I remember the first order that I had was 500 points. It's $700 something. I didn't have money that time, but in order to change my life, in order to change my look and my health, I'm willing to do that. And even I have some downline that they really live paycheck to paycheck. At the very beginning, they tell me that they don't even have much money. They don't have savings. But once they see the USANA difference, once they see the value of USANA, she's willing to she normally do her nails every week, right? And then she's like, okay, so I don't have to go every week. I skip a week to save that money to buy myself essential. Or I even know a person that, like a cleaning lady that she didn't have enough money, but she was like, okay, I rather work overtime, or, I rather do less laundry outside. She rather do her laundry. She clean her own laundry at home, and then to save that part of money to buy a bottle of fish oil. So it's really depend on if people can see the value. If they do see the value, then they're willing to pay for that. So don't prejudge. And as for referral, that's also very, very important. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you have very, very negative downline that always complain about, USANA product, doesn't really work. It's really hard for me to swallow. The pill is so big. Or if they have some reverse reaction, they're saying that, oh, your product, it doesn't work for me, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of us do have that kind of customer to deal with. What will most of the people do? I ask most of the people, they say, oh, I just ignore them. I just look for the next one. I don't know. I kind of feel like after I learned how to do USANA business, I become more patient. I become more caring. And I have one of my junior high school friend that, she was this kind of customer that she complained. She has a lot of complaints. But since she's my friend in my junior high school, and I do feel like I wanted to care for her more. So every time I explain to her patiently for all the questions that she has, right? And so even though, be honest, that she did not really take USANA product after that, but she did refer one of her coworkers to me. And then her coworker, she tried to give birth, right? She tried to proceed for over 10 years, but then she could never be pregnant. So when I first told her about USANA, I never say that this is medication, this is gonna kill you. No, I did not tell her that. I was telling her that, I feel like, your body do need some proper nutrition. And then you do need to get some balanced nutrition. And at the same time, you do need to change your lifestyle, and you do need to change your eating habit. So I could guarantee you your health will be better. Okay, so she did follow my advice. And then after a year and a half, she and her husband both took USANA product. And luckily, she got pregnant, and then she gave birth. So she's so happy. She's really, really super happy. And then she shared all her experience to her friends and family. So this referral that I got from one of my negative friends, that she brought me over 40 customers. So I'm so happy that I did not give up. I did not give up on her. And so I did my follow-up. So ask for referral, even though people reject you, okay? So always add new people on your list. It's because, you may always get to know some new friends. You may get to know some new coworker, right? So just put them on your contact list so that you don't forget. If you just put that in your phone, I guarantee you're going to forget about them. Next one, please. So you need to group the contact list. Next, please. Separate a group, okay? That help you make it easier. So this is the first group. It's the easiest group that you should first approach to, because I don't want you to, before you learn how to walk, I want you to, you don't run, right? Or you don't climb the mountain. So it's very important. This is the easiest group that you should contact to. The people that has healthy concept, the people who want to become a business owner, people have money. This money, it doesn't mean like, they have to be a millionaire, right? Money means like, at least they're able to have the money to start a business center, right? Don't ever lend money to the person that first joined USANA, okay? That's not good. The time also, the people need to have a little bit of time, which means if that person tell you that, I have 3 jobs. I work from 9 to 5, and then after that, I go home and then, like eat a little bit of fast food dinner. And then I go to work at night, like from 7 to 11 or to 12. And then my weekend, I'm working another job. If you heard about that, that person don't have time. They don't have time to do USANA. They don't even have time to sleep. What makes you think that they have time to do USANA, right? So if people that have 3 or 4 on the list, then they become your first group. Then this group is the first group that you should contact to. It's the easier group. Next one, please. Next slide. Okay. And the second group is like if people that has 1 to 2 of the below. And that's a second group that, you should contact to. They're still okay, as long as they have healthy concept or they have time, it's still okay to contact to. Next one, please. The third group is like none of the above, or that person is totally against direct marketing. That's like climbing the mountain for a new member, right? So for that group, I'm not saying that you should totally give up on them. You should actually put them on the side or you use them as a practice. So, use them as a practice means you knew that when you're a new member, that maybe you're not very good at presenting, right? But that if that person is going to say no anyway, so why don't you practice on them? If they're going to say no anyway, so you just like practice on them and presenting USANA. And most of the time that you expect them to say no. Or maybe you are lucky that they will say yes. Or maybe sometimes they change their mind. Maybe their healthy concept has increased more, or maybe they got more time right now, right? So you never know. So we never give up on any of the group. Okay, next one, please. So the simplest method of selling is to selling a product. I don't like to sell a product. Selling a product is like, I've seen many direct marketing people that they have all the pots and pans under their beds that they have to sell, or all the hair gel, or the product they have to sell before the expiration day. Or sometimes, I've seen people like, with other direct marketing company, they have all the product that's in the back of their trunk. And then under 90 degrees, those products, they have to sell them. Otherwise, they'll go back, right? But I don't like to do that. I always like to become the second level, like higher level of selling. So we're selling a concept. So we're selling how to create a healthy lifestyle and how to create a healthy eating habit, right? And then once I create this healthy concept and people are more acceptable and they're willing to join as a member or as a preferred customer, then that way you don't have to carry all the product that's with you. Like people hate a sales. It's like, especially if you go to let's say if you go to Macy's, right? And I hate those like people that come to me like, oh, do you want me to introduce you something? I'm like, I know what I want. I don't need your help. No, thank you. Or, when people like call you on a phone and saying that, you want to like buy this car or you want to like buy this house or this and that, I'll just hang up on them. Right. So that's why it's a statistic. Number one hating job. American people hate it. It's like a sales. Right. So please do not try to be a sales and try to be a higher level of selling. And the top level of selling, it could be those are my mentor, because those are after you gain years of experiences, and then you will become the top level of selling. You will having your business done during a conversation or during a lunch, then they will start to understand what USANA that can bring you. And that's how you could attract more customer or members. So that it takes years of experience. Next one, please. Inviting. Okay, next one, please. Okay, when we invite, we need to create curiosity, right? Not presenting. Not presenting means like, I don't want you to telling them, USANA has been founded in USANA is a health company, You are doing presentation, okay? I don't want you to give out all this like information to a new customer before they know what USANA is about. You really should like create curiosity so that they would like to come out and meet you or come out on the Zoom to meet you, right? So that's all you need. It's only 2 minutes. If people feels like when you talk about, when you're meeting with your friend and then you haven't seen for a while, you ask them, how do you do? Like last time, I invite one of my dentist assistant. I was like getting my teeth pulled, right? And then I was like having all the blood all over my mouth and I could not even talk. And then when I talked to her, and then I feel like, because that was like during pandemic. So I was asking her, how did the pandemic do to you? She's like, I was really bad. I don't have full-time jobs right now. They cut my hours. I only like work part-time. So I said, how does that affect your life? She's like, that sucks. So I said, have you thought about any other business opportunity? And she's like, what is it? And I said, well, I do have some other great business opportunity for you. Are you interested? She's basically like a cold market for me. And she's like, oh, can you tell me more? And first I was telling her, first of all, I have blood all over my mouth. I cannot really talk right now. And second, your boss, it's like right around you. I don't think this is the right timing for us to discuss this business opportunity. But if you could leave me your phone and your name, and then I'll contact you later after I could talk. So basically, I used 2 minutes to invite her. And then she become later on, of course, she become my downline, and then she become a plan Pacesetter. So you need to set and confirm your next appointment within 2 minutes. Next one, please. Okay, actions. Okay, actions. It's something that we always talk about, right? This is like to have the desire to practice in order to improve yourself, not because of your upline telling you to do so. So you gotta be like, wake up by your dream. Like me, I wake up every day by my dream, not wake up by my clock. Not wake up by my upline. They're not telling me, Sufi, you got to wake up and do USANA business, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, if I heard that, if my upline tell me that, I'll just hang up, right? So you really needed to know that you are the CEO of this business and you controls it. Your income depends on your actions. So I'm sharing one of my actions. So when I feel like every time when I do the ranking, I become a gold director, becoming a ruby director, becoming an emerald director. Every time I do that, I feel like I'm so busy. I have like presentation every single day. And one day I remember one day I had 7. I have 7 appointments in one day. And after that 7th appointment that day, I become a gold director finally. And then after that, I lose my voice. And I feel like every time I do the ranking, I lose my voice. So I remember, like, you know, when Liz told me, oh, when is the next time you're gonna lose your voice? So it's really no joke. It's not really like it's not coming out of nowhere. It really depends on your action. If you have more actions, then you become, you know, you're closer to your dream, right? And I remember one time, USANA has like a WTA competition. It's like, you know, you need to sign up the more member and the most member, and then you are able to win the whole trip and going to California, and then to be with the WTA champions. And also I was with Timothy Brelly. You know, we're in the same room, VIP room. And this is the first time in my life I was like win a trip because I won the first place. And then my team won the second one and the third one. So it's not just me. I was leading my whole team and I win the whole trip. So, and I was the first time I was taking a first class flight. And then I stayed in like presidential room. And next picture, please. So this is a picture that I was like with my whole team, and then we won this trip. And this is Timothy Brelly, 5 years boxing champion. We're so lucky that, you know, we're able to stay in the same room, talking to him and then watching the tennis game. And then it's such a fantastic trip. And I feel like it's not the money that you could buy. It's, even though I could be a millionaire, billionaire, but I'm not able to be with this like world champions or be, you know, and talk to them, or, you know, having dinner with them, and or having them to teach us how to like play a tennis lesson, right? So that's a really, really great experience that USANA gave us. And how we win that trip, I remember, you know, every day we all do that together, you know, every day, nonstop. One time I still remember my upline, Sam. You know, he was like with me and one of my downline, and we tried to like talk to a new member. And then we drove out at 11 o'clock at night. And that day, it's like, I remember like it was like the biggest snowing days in New York for the past like maybe 50 years. And we went to the house at 11 o'clock, right? By the time that we got out, oh, wait, no, we went there at 9 o'clock. And by the time that we got out, it's 11 o'clock, I could not even find my car because it covers pretty much all my car. Everywhere it's like in white. I could not find my car. So we like got the shovel and we shoveled all the snows out. 4 of us, like, you know, like Sam and my downline and the new member, like, you know, we were like shoveling. And then finally I find my car. But luckily I did not have a regular sedan. Luckily I have a 4x4. So I was like, driving Sam, my upline, back home. And also I also drive my downline back home. And I went home by myself. So Sam was like saying that, oh, text me, you know, when you go home, you know, because it's so dangerous, you know, no one is on the street and it's freezing that day. And guess what? By the time that I got home, 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's really crazy. I feel like, you know, if I ask a lot of people at that time, I asked them, you know, how do you do USANA business? And they're telling me that, oh, it's too hot. I don't want to go outside. Oh, it's raining. I don't want to go outside. Oh, it's too cold. I don't want to go outside. I'm like, so, but for me, when I have my dream, when I have a goal that I wanted to reach, you know, no matter what, no matter if it's raining, sunny day, hot day, or like a freezing, snowing days, I'll just go out. I do everything to achieve my goal. And that's why, you know, my upline tell me that, wow, when everyone, you know, in this snowing days, freezing snowing days, and when everyone was sleeping at home, enjoying their dinner, enjoying their TV shows at home, we're going out to achieving our goal. And it's worth it because, you know, we're going to the right direction. We're choosing the right company and we're helping people. And then that's why we want everything. So I'm so glad that our actions, you know, it's really worth it. Next one, please. So we just need to like practice, practice, practice. I still remember the first day that I was like doing this presentation, USANA presentation. I have like maybe 20 or 30 postcards that with me that I was reading all my postcards. I was like reading all the slides and I was like, oh, I was so nervous. So I think after all these years of the practice, I closed my eyes, I could even do this presentation. So I believe you guys can do it too, if you have enough practice. Next one, please. So in my experience, right, everything that we're teaching you today is to gain more confidence. We're helping you to gain more confidence. So 30% of the confidence come from you and your family are taking a product on time, right? And then you will see your health has improved. So you get more confidence. Then you believe this company that could change my life. Yeah, it could change my health, right? And another 30% is after sharing to the people that's around you. And so people come back and thank you. They're saying, oh, thank you so much that, you refer USANA this opportunity to me. And so you help me to improve my health. So after people come back to you, you feel like, oh yeah. So you feel happy. Trust me, you're happy that after you help more and more people, right? Another 30% that it's come from plenty of the learning. So you got to learn from the company, you got to learn the product information, and then after that, you earn the checks. And then once you receive the check, and once you see the money that's directly deposited into your account, then you know that this is real. This is real. It's not fake, right? And so that helps you gain confidence. So what do you think about the rest of 10%? Where does that come from? Do you guys know? If you guys know, you guys can leave me an answer. If you guys answer right, I could send you a gift. Okay, so no. Yeah, action is important, but it's not. It's close. It's getting close. So that 10%, it's funny. It's my upline, Dennis Chan. He told me that is to listen to my presentation, to listen to my training. So I would say that yes, listen to the training that's from your team leaders, that's from the company, right? That's like from the convention. You gotta like constantly participate in this training. If otherwise, I feel like during pandemic, like we don't do the face-to-face training. We do a lot of online, but then it's different. Once you don't see people in person, you kind of feel like I become lazy, right? I feel like, I need my upline, or I need my leaders, or I even need my downline to motivate me. So that way, I need you too. It's not just like, you need your upline. I also can learn from my downline. So we're learning from each other's. So that's also very, very important. Okay, next one, please. Vincent Chen, if you're in USANA business, then you know that he's one of our big leader. He's like a 7-star diamond director. I remember this thing that he said to me, before you learn, always consider yourself an empty cup, right? You got to be teachable, be humble, and be persistent are the keys of success. So set goals and never give up. That's also one of the last sentence. I'll give that to you guys. So I hope you guys learn a lot today and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Amazing, Sufi. That was so awesome. Thank you so much. There were a lot of really great tidbits from that presentation. I love that you talked about follow-up. Follow-up is so important. And I hear from associates all the time that you're afraid to follow up. But following up actually shows that you care for the person that you're working with. And so don't be afraid, because you're really trying to help them with the USANA product. So I love that you talked about follow-up. I love that you talked about referrals, because yes, you may have someone that says right now it's not time for me. So then you can ask them, well, who do you know that would be interested in this? So I love that as well. And then practicing, right? Practice your presentation, practice your message, because you don't want the first time that you talk to somebody to be real time with someone and you haven't practiced yet. So practice with family and friends, and you'll get really, really good at that. So again, thank you, Sufi. That was great. That was fantastic. So now we're going to move forward. We're going to keep this train rolling into our next presentation. And I'm really excited for this presentation. I have seen the 2-day version of Jared's presentation, and we've asked Jared to kind of give us the short version of that. Jared is an Emerald Director. He's been with USANA for 18 and a half years. So you look at this picture, looks like he joined USANA when he was about 13 years old. He's been with us for a long time. Today, Jared's going to talk to us about handling objections. This is where I encourage you to make sure you have a pen and paper handy. Take pictures of the screen. Jared is going to give you exactly what to say to people when you hear the common objections of, I need to talk to my spouse, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. He's going to show you exactly what to say. So Jared, welcome. Thank you. Take it away.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Maggie. Hello, USANA family. How are you today? Great training, Sufi. I loved everything you had to say. I was watching and taking notes and screenshots. I loved your story as well. Everybody give some snaps and some hearts to Sufi Chang and the other speakers today. They have all been amazing. I'm excited to talk to you about handling objections. But before I do, I want you to type in the chats where you're watching from. And I know that Yanni had you do that at the beginning, but I want to see again. Who's watching from where? We have someone watching from London. Cello Tylo. Hello, Cello. Miss Rose from Dallas. Jackie from New York City. Yesenia from Richmond, California. May from Pittsburgh. Suheng from LA. Christy from Ohio. Lucy from Palm Springs, Michigan, Las Vegas. Good to see you. I love how you guys have been typing in your ID numbers with every comment. Y'all are smart. Keep typing in your ID numbers. Hopefully you're going to get a prize. I know that whoever participates the most, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah, there we go. See, Jiang, she put her ID number. And I have your ID number and state now. I have all your key information. No, I'm super excited to be here with you. Thank you for your kind words, Josh. What a great training this is. We're so blessed to have the United States Field putting this on. It's so impressive how it's also in Chinese. Hello to all the Chinese speakers as well. I love that we can toggle back and forth from English to Chinese. And I also love that we've been able to hear from the leaders who speak in Chinese. And so, again, big shout out to United States Field. Everybody give them some thank yous as well for putting on this great training for you. Super congratulations on hitting the Pacesetter status. This is a big, big deal. And so we want to give you this extra training. Okay, so that being said, I've been with USANA for 18 years, but it didn't always start out that way. I wasn't always a successful associate. When I first got started, I had a car with no air conditioning. I was in massive debt. I lived in the ghetto of Denton, Texas. And I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was looking for a way to find an online business so I could increase my income. I also had some health challenges going on that honestly, I didn't know any better. I didn't know the solutions. And I didn't think that my online business would make such a huge improvement to my health. And thank God I found USANA because, all these years later, I live a great lifestyle. I'm able to travel. I'm happily married. My wife's been able to leave her job and join me full time with USANA, have great health. And, I just got to say that you're going through it right now. You're learning your business. Just keep persevering, keep learning, because if you keep learning and keep applying, you will get there as well. So let's get right into the slides. I'm excited for my Chinese slides as well. Very impressive. So if you could just take me to the next slide, whoever is in charge of the slides. There we go. All right. So we're going to talk about how to handle objections. So, I love all the emojis. Hello, Deborah, Moreland as well. Okay. So this is really, I guess you could say, one of the most important parts of our process is to help overcome the objections so people can become associates and customers, but this is mostly a talk about getting associates. And well, let's just go to the next slide because I think this is probably the most important thing. You've got to be inviting to presentations and you need to be giving presentations. Okay, so I'm talking about like sharing the entire USANA package, the USANA business and the USANA products at the same time. And whatever presentation you use, whether it's your uplines presentation, the one that you started with that your mentor has taught you, or maybe you're using something from the company, you need to have a goal this week for how many presentations. Okay, so I have a goal this week of 5 presentations. I want to do 5 presentations myself to new people. So I need to see in the chats, how many presentations are you going to go for this week? Business presentations, because there's no point in training you on objections if you don't have presentations. Presentations are what's going to give you the chance to answer and handle the objections, right? So Yesenia is going for 4, Cello's going for 3. All right, who else? Jing's going for 5. All right, I want to see who else is doing presentations. I mean, should I not do this training? I mean, we have all these people on here. Who's going to do a presentation? Okay, Miss Rose is going to do 2. Okay, good job. Christy's going to do 2. Deborah's going to do 2. Okay, these are business presentations. I want to see more. Shao is going to do 2. Okay, this is good. We're getting somewhere. Jackie's going to do 2. Sissy's going to do 2. All right, now we're getting somewhere. There's still a bunch of people on here who have not commented. I want to see comments. Who's going to do business presentations this week? All right, I'm proud of you guys. This is real important. You have to have that mindset. This is not just a training to let you learn something you're not going to apply, right? So let's go into the next slide. This is the first objection. When somebody says they don't have the money, now you probably need to screenshot this and just have it ready when they say they don't have the money. That's how I would proceed with this script. There's 7 points to it, and I usually like to read it like on a phone call, or just have it when I'm giving the presentation. But at the very end, after you've shown them all the startup options and you've given the presentation, they say, you know what, I really like this. I want to do it, but I don't have the money. You just do these 7 points. So I'm going to read these one at a time. So number 1, I know you don't have the money right now, but do you really want to do this? Okay, so that's an important question, because if they say no to that, then you know that it's not really about the money. It's just that they're using that as an excuse. So a lot of times they say, yes, I really want to do this. I just don't have the money. So when they say that, then you go to number 2. I'm glad you don't have the money, and here's why. Number 3, I know you will start with us soon, and when that time comes, you will also come across people who don't have the money. Then you can share your story of how you came up with the money. So how long do you think it will take you? Then you have to wait, and they might say, oh, I can have the money in 2 weeks. Now, in 2 weeks, that's fine. Like I would say, or even if they say a month, whatever they say, sometimes they say by the end of the week, sometimes they say 3 days, doesn't matter. Whatever time they say, even if it's a month or 2 weeks, you're going to say, okay, great. In the meantime, are you open to getting a head start on your training? Okay, so what we're trying to do here is keep them focused on something while they are getting the money together. All right, so they're going to say, yes, I'm open to getting a head start on my training. So then after that, you go, next slide, please. You give them the Jim Rohn Building Your Network Marketing Business video on YouTube. And you say that line right there. While you are getting the money together, I want you to watch this video for your training. Send the link. Let's talk again in 2 to 3 days from now. My Chinese speakers, this video is also available in Chinese, in Mandarin. You can look this up, Jim Rohn Building Your Network Marketing Business in Mandarin. You can find it on YouTube for free, okay? So you can use this in your language. My Spanish speakers, the same thing. This video has been translated into Spanish because it's so good. So if I'm doing something with a Spanish speaker, I find this video on YouTube in Spanish. And also, yes, it's in Chinese. It's incredible translation. And then also, of course, in English. So everybody screenshot this because you're going to need this. This is like the next piece, right? While you're getting the money together, I want you to watch this video for your training. Send the link. Let's talk again in 2 to 3 days from now. Okay, so now everybody please go to the next slide. This is how you end the call. This is called book a meeting from a meeting, BAM fam. Everybody type in BAM fam, because I want you to remember that. BAM fam, that's how you have to end your meetings all the time. BAM fam, book a meeting from a meeting. So then you can say, I can talk on day at time or day at time, which is best for you. You're trying to talk to them in 2 to 3 days. You're not trying to talk to them in a week. So if the presentation was today is Saturday. So you could say, I could talk to you on Monday or Tuesday, which is best for you. I could talk to you Monday at 5 or Tuesday at 5, which is best for you. All right. Okay, sounds good. I will text before I call. I hope you have an awesome day. Keep doing calls with different videos until they get the money together. Okay, so everybody screenshot this. Keep doing calls with different videos until they get the money together. Well, what are the different videos? You got to find them. That's your job. Go find them another video. Find them another Jim Rohn video. Or find them maybe a USANA video with somebody talking about the USANA products. Have them study that video next. Give them video after video after video and keep talking to them every, 3 to 5 days. Give them another video. Talk to them 3 to 5 days. Give them another video. Talk to them 3 to 5 days until they come up with the money. Does everybody understand? And when you call them and you say, what did you like about the video? How's it looking on the money side? Right? Oh, you're not ready yet? Okay, no problem. I have another video for you to watch, and let's talk again in 5 days from now. Do you guys understand? Do you guys see the strategy? It's just another video and talk to them and give them another video. And that's just literally how I sign people up. And then they come up with the money, and through that whole time, they're getting trained by Jim Rohn. They're getting trained by all these great leaders that you find the videos for. Okay, thank you, Cello. Yes, you guys understand. Okay, so let's go on to the next objection. Okay, next slide, please. So you're going to see a pattern here in a second. So they say, I need to think about it. Now, when they say, I need to think about it, again, you're at the end of the presentation. They say, you know what? I like it. I just need to think about it. I totally understand if you need to think about it. I've found that people need to think about it because they aren't sure. Tell me, what are some of your concerns? Okay, so everybody screenshot this. And tell me, what are some of your concerns? That is where you need to listen with an open heart and answer each concern the best you can. Because you don't know exactly what they're going to say. And some of the concerns are usually maybe they're about time, could be about time. Sometimes their concern is about money. Okay, if their concern's about money, then you just go back to the one we just did. If their concern is about asking their spouse, then we have that. I'll show you how to handle that in a second. Sometimes their concern is about research. Sometimes their concern is something you've never heard before. So just answer each concern the best you can, but you need to open a space. So tell me, what are some of your concerns? Okay, so everybody screenshot that. I'm drinking a fizzy drink. Who loves the fizzy drink? The new drink from USANA. Type in fizzy in the chats if you love the new fizzy drink. Yes, Bam Fam iPhone. Very good. Miss Rose likes the fizzy drink. Okay, let's go to the next slide. You then give them a Jim Rohn video and you say, the best thing you can watch while you're thinking about it is this video. Send the link. And let's talk again 2 to 3 days from now. Again, our goal is to get Jim Rohn in their brain, because Jim Rohn on this video, he talks about the power of part-time. He talks about the transformation of being in a wellness company. He is just incredible. This is such a timeless training. So instead of them thinking negatively, you get Jim Rohn in their head for the next 2 to 3 days, and then you talk to them. Okay, next slide. Then you bam fam. Again, I can talk at day at time or day at time, which is best for you. Sounds good. I will text you before I call. I hope you have an awesome day. Keep doing calls with different videos and invite them to webinars until they're ready to get started. Okay, same thing. You just got to keep reaching out, giving them new videos to watch. Someone's raised their hand. Vincent, you can type your question in the chats. I will definitely answer it. All right, so everybody got everyone got that, right? I need to think about it. So now let's go to the next objection. I need to ask my spouse. Okay, so this is another important one you need to be ready for. So everybody should screenshot this. This is what you say when they say, I need to ask my spouse. Number one, I totally understand. If your spouse says yes, do you really want to do this? Again, that question is really to qualify that, right? Are they just hiding behind their spouse and they're just saying that as an excuse? Or do they really want to do it? They just really need to ask their spouse, right? So usually they will say, yes, I do want to do this if my spouse says yes. Then number two, okay, here's the best way to get your spouse open to the idea. Let's set an appointment right now when your spouse is available so they can see the same thing you saw. Okay, so we are trying at this moment to schedule an appointment. And we don't know exactly when the spouse is available, but we want to put something on the calendar to potentially get this to happen. Okay, so it doesn't always work, but when it does, when the spouse shows up, it is the best thing you can do. So let's go to the next slide now. You book a meeting from a meeting. I can talk at day or time or day at time, which is best for you. Sounds good. I will text you before I call. I hope you have an awesome day. Now, here's the key here. Advise them to keep it simple when talking to their spouse. It's an online business, but they want their opinion before they do anything. Okay, so everybody screenshot that and really circle or highlight the starred sentence here. They need to be coached. They need to tell their spouse, it's an online business, but I want your opinion before I do anything. That is better than them saying it's USANA, it's vitamins, etc. Then it might kill the whole thing. So you need to really coach them how to talk to their spouse and just do your best to schedule the meeting with the spouse. It will work about half of the time. And the other half of the time, it's just an excuse and they don't really want to sign up. Okay, so you just need to understand that it's a 50-50 proposition when you come to the spouse objection. But you got to do it this way. This is the best chance you have. Okay? So everybody screenshot this. Okay, let's go to the next one. I don't have the time. Okay, so same thing here. You want to qualify it first. I totally understand. If you had the time, would you want to do this? So again, we need to qualify first. And a lot of times they'll say, yes, if I had the time, I would want to do this. Number two, how much time do you think you'll need? A lot of times people think they need a lot of time. So just see what they say, because sometimes they think, oh, I'm going to need to do this 30 hours a week or something. And then the next one, we've had many people create success building only 5 to 10 hours per week. Do you think you could do that? So that's a question, right? And if they say, yes, I could do 5 to 10 hours a week, or even just 5 hours a week, now you have something. But they're probably not ready to sign up this very second. So we need to go to the next, but before we do, everyone screenshot this. This is something you're going to need if they say they don't have the time. Okay, now, next slide. Jim Rohn, you guessed it. I'm going to send you a link to a video that you can watch that explains the power of doing this part-time. Send the link. Let's talk again in 2 to 3 days from now. Is that okay? So you guys understand? That's how this is done. If they listen to Jim Rohn, that's going to help them understand that this is very powerful to do part-time, because Jim Rohn really answers the question well. He gives a whole story about doing part-time and how he built his business to a full-time income doing it part-time. So it's a great, great audio for somebody who has the time objection. Let's talk again in 2 to 3 days from now. Is that okay? Okay, so everybody screenshot this. And let's go to the next one. Book a meeting from a meeting. Bam, fam. So then you say, I can talk on day at time or day at time, which is best for you. Sounds good. I will text you before I call. I hope you have an awesome day. Keep giving them training videos of your choice and continue scheduling follow-up calls until they are ready. That's how it's done, guys. So what is the pattern? I'm gonna ask a pop quiz. That's right, Miss Rose, bam fam. So what is the same thing? What is the common thing we do on every objection? There's two things we do after we handle the objection. Type it in the comments. Who's going to be the first one? Maybe USANA will give you a special prize if you're the first one. This is about what I've just been training you on. Cello says Jim Rohn, ask questions, then video. So the Jim Rohn part is definitely the first piece, but there's something after. Then schedule follow-up call. That's right. Video bam fam. Video bam fam. That's right. There we go. All right. Everyone who typed in something, put in your ID. See if you can get a prize. Yep, it's Jim Rohn and then bam fam. Jim Rohn, then bam fam. Jim Rohn, then bam fam. Okay, that's what you got to do. Jim Rohn, then bam fam. Looks like you get it. All right. Let's go to the next slide. Failed in network marketing before. I failed over and over again in my life. That's why I succeed. Michael Jordan. Okay, so here's what you say. I totally understand. Let me ask you, what do you think your biggest risk is if you do this? Right? So if somebody says they failed before, you say, I totally understand. That's the first thing. Let me ask you, what do you think your biggest risk is if you do this? And then they'll say something, I don't even know what they'll say. I don't get this objection very often, but if you do get it, listen, okay, what is your biggest risk? And they probably won't know what to say, right? But they might say, oh, it's the money. I might lose a little bit of money, or maybe it's what my friends will think about me. Whatever they say, you say the risk is not that. It's the life you could have had if you weren't afraid of failing. Right? So this is kind of you have to have a good relationship with the person if you're going to say this, right? Because if it's a total stranger, I don't know if you should use this exact wording. So make sure you're aware of your audience, okay? But my coaching for you is to watch a video that will give you some insight on how to succeed. And then what do you think's going to happen on the next slide? Everyone screenshot this. Jim Rohn and Bam Fam. That's right. Jim Rohn and Bam. Yeah, please, everyone screenshot this. Make sure you've screenshot this. Lucy Liu, she has the right idea. Jim Rohn and Bam Fam. Jim Rohn and Bam Fam. I think you guys got the meaning of the training. Good job. Okay, so everyone screenshot that. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Jim Rohn and Bam Fam. So the best video you can watch is by Jim Rohn. Let's talk again in 2 to 3 days from now. Is that okay? Then Bam Fam. Let's go to Bam Fam. Next slide. So then I can talk on day at time or day at time, which is best for you. Sounds good. I'll text before I call. I hope you have an awesome day. On the next call, ask what they liked about the video. And if they're ready to get started, keep giving them different videos until they are ready. All right. So it's always Jim Rohn and Bam Fam, or some type of video in Bam Fam. I like to give videos about USANA, like when a doctor talks about the products, or, there's so many videos you can find on USANA products as well. So you can do a little bit of both, but it's always video and then Bam Fam. That's right. Jim Rohn is my favorite, but I will do some others as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. Actually, I think that's it. That's right. So thank you very much. If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram there at Jared Krebs. Go send me a friend or whatever you call me. Follow me on Instagram. My friends on Facebook is almost, I think I'm at like 4,900 friends or something. But you can also follow me at Facebook, or send me a friend request. Maybe you might be one of my last friends I can get in before I get to 5,000. But definitely go follow me on Instagram. Reach out, say hello. And again, I want to thank you, United States USANA, for inviting me and for putting on these great trainings for the field. We love you. We appreciate you. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day.
Awesome, Jared. That was fantastic. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Very practical, very direct. And it's so fun to say Bam Fam.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want to say Bam Fam? So I love that too, because it's easy. It's easy to remember. Bam Fam, book a meeting from a meeting. Then you always have your follow-up. built in. I hope everybody's seeing how all of these presentations have just kind of built on each other. So Jared, thank you again so much. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Josh. You're the one who trained on Bam Fam. You trained on that last event we had.
I did train on Bam Fam.
You trained me on Bam Fam.
I love to say the word. I love to say the word.
Thanks,
okay,
guys.
so now we're going to transition. We have a special treat for all of you. We are fortunate that our GM, Stephen Jones. Stephen has been with us now for just under a year. Man, time flies when you're having fun. You know, it really does. So we are excited to have Steve present. He's really going to take everything that you've learned today and really help you launch your business even further. We know that as a pace setter, you're really just getting started in the USANA business, and Steve's presentation is going to help you launch even further and help you go down the road with USANA. So Steve, take it away, my friend.
Well, thank you so much, man. What an incredible Pacesetter Masterclass. So hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. If you can hear me, go ahead and type USANA in the chat so I can see, make sure that everyone can hear me coming through loud and clear. I want to make sure it's coming through. Thank you, Cello. Thank you, Ms. Rose. So what an incredible day. I want to say a huge thank you to each of the speakers that have presented today. Man, you can tell, they put a lot of time, a lot of thought into it, and really for the benefit of you. And as somebody who has qualified as a pace setter in the last few months, this has really been a great introduction to these next steps, right? Sometimes when we think we join somewhere and we do it, we hit pace setter, we say, oh, great, I did it. It's really not the end. It's only just the beginning, because now it gets into the really fun part. The really fun part is now we get to help others do the same. There's that really great quote that I love from Zig Ziglar, where he says that if you can help people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. And so, I'm just really appreciative of the incredible leaders that we have, all of the speakers that have been on today, for taking time away from their families, from their businesses to prepare for today. And it has been absolutely incredible content. And so this has been aimed at you. Right? Today's messages were for you, right? Training for you. And so now, what's the next step? The next step is, how are you going to go and help others? And so as you go and introduce USANA, as you put into practice the things that you heard from Jared and Sufi and the other speakers, right? You're going to hear those things, the mindset from Jessica, and you're going to go ahead and start to speak to people and start to really, really, really grow your business. And so the important thing, I think, is to take what you've learned today and to help create a launch plan for the new people that are going to join, right? And so helping them to get started, helping set them the right expectations. That's a lot of what you've heard about today, is understanding where I'm starting from and where I'm going, right? If somebody says, hey, you're going to get really in shape and really work, but you only have to work out for an hour every 6 months. And then you get to the gym and they're like, no, you need to work out 3 hours every day. You're like, well, hang on, there's a disconnect there. I don't feel like that was what I was told. And so we're setting people up for success. That's what we want, right? We want to set people up for success. So as you get started now into your next chapter, right? Your next chapter, you are in that place where you've been sharing, and now you're going to be in the place where you're growing. So as you step forward into that growth chapter, there's a couple of things that I want you to remember. Okay, so let's start with the next slide. I think growing a business is like growing a plant, growing a tree, having that kind of experience, and there's lessons that you can learn. And so I put this slide together because these are lessons that I want each of you to remember. We heard about the entrepreneurial journey earlier, and that was a great presentation talking about some of the challenges, some of the opportunities and things there. We had the 4 areas that you got to build belief in, right? We're on this journey. So welcome to entrepreneurship. This is only just the beginning. And so there's some things to remember. And not every day is going to be sunshine. Hey, when you're an entrepreneur, not every day is perfect. Not everyone says yes 100% of the time. Not everyone is that golden candidate or that golden customer that you're kind of hoping for. And so these are some of the things that I want you to remember. As you grow in your business, as you grow personally, there will be a lot more growth in here and in here before anyone out here sees it. right? Just with a plant, when you plant a new tree or a new plant, it has to grow deep roots. And most of that time, the most important growth that's happening, no one can see it. But you have to stay the course. You have to keep going, right? Because that is when the results will come for everyone else to see. But it will be a long time internal and below the surface, usually for people before that. So let's remember that. Most of the time, the most important growth will happen before people can see the results. Now, the other thing as well, you need to have patience, right? Anyone who's familiar with any kind of farming or planting, or you know, we're in the spring season now, so this is a great analogy. But the day that you plant the seed is not the day you enjoy the fruit. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to plant the seed, and then you have to go through the process. You have to take the time. You have to do the nourishment, all those things. And then we get to enjoy the fruit. If you send out 5 text messages right now, right, you are not going to go diamond tomorrow. That's just not, I want to set the right expectation, right? So it's about, but what can you do? What is your goal? What's your next achievement? Right? Hopefully your next achievement is making enough money to get free product, and then making enough money that you can pay for your car payment, and making enough money that you can pay for your rent or your mortgage, having those steps, right? And one day, sooner rather than later, we hope, being diamond, okay? Here's the third thing. Results take work, and work produces results. I can plant that seed, but if I don't let it get the sunshine, if I don't water it, if I don't dung it and dig it and plow it and all of these things, don't give it that care that it needs, I won't get the results that I want. If I say I want to be healthy, but you know, I eat fast food every day and I don't go to the gym, I'm not going to get the results that I want. And I see this so often in entrepreneurship, is people have a dream and a goal, and they say, oh, I want to be able to travel the world, but they don't want to do the thing that gets them the result, right? So results take work, and work produces results. And here's what I love about this industry. This is what I love about our entrepreneurial journey. You don't have to do this alone. Most times they talk about entrepreneurship being very lonely. Direct selling is the exact opposite of that. You have somebody who introduced you. You can introduce other people. And guess what? You're all planting in the same field together. You're all winning together. You're all growing together. It's not separate fields. I'm not competing with Jared for his water. I'm not competing with Sufi. I'm not competing with Jared. I'm not competing with any of those people, right? Because we're working as a team, right? With your upline and downline and working with that. So some of the things to remember. So as you bring people in, and we're going to go through this quickly because a lot of this has been covered, and I just wanted to recap it all today because I heard Jared, I think it was saying, was talking about this, and, you know, there are certain things that you have to do. And he said, well, which video should I send? That's for you to find out, right? I want you to take this knowledge and say, when I introduce my next person, whether it's somebody who's an affiliate or an associate, I'm going to be a responsible sponsor and get them started the right way. And that means that I'm going to help them set up a launch plan. So with everything that we've heard today, here is the launch plan that I would create. And you are all welcome to use this, right? You're all welcome to create your own. You're all welcome to use it. So let's go next slide. Right. So here's my launch roadmap for you that I created, and hopefully everyone can enjoy this. I think there are 8 steps from everything you've learned today, from all the speakers. I think there's 8 steps. So let's start with step number 1. Next slide. Right? Starts with why. Almost every speaker you heard today talked about their journey with USANA, where they started and what they needed to change in their life. And I'm going to give you this phrase. We have to have a healthy level of disgust in order to change. We have to have a healthy level of disgust in order for us to change something in our lives. You heard Jared say, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? You know, you have to have that. Finally, not being able to pay bills. Finally, you know, not having that time at home with my family. Whatever it is for you, that's where it starts. And if it's not strong enough, you'll quit the first time something gets hard. That's just the fact. Right? What is it that you want? I want to make more money. Okay, that's like saying I want a hammer. You actually don't want the hammer. What you want is a nail in the wall. So what's that nail in the wall for you? What's that beautiful picture that you want to hang on the wall? The hammer just gets you there. So it starts with why. If you're working with somebody and they say, oh, I don't know what my why is, ask them questions, right? Talk to them. What's missing from your life right now? What change in your life do you think about most often? What do you lie awake about thinking? Where do you see yourself a year from now versus where do you want to see yourself a year from now? What's stopping you from being the best version of yourself? What would you do? All of these things, okay? So you need to write down that why, and they need to put it on their phone. They need to write it on a card and stick it on the mirror where they wash their face, do their makeup, all those kind of things. It needs to be something that's in their face every day. That constant reminder of why am I doing this? That's what helps us get the results. Okay, next slide. Step 2. Step 2, you need to become a trusted voice of experience. And so for, new people who are getting started and they say, oh, well, I can just tell people about the product, right? Especially if maybe it's an affiliate. Oh, well, I can just tell people about the product. You need to become a product of the product, okay? Not only for the people that you're speaking to, but even for yourself. 74% of people surveyed prefer to learn from somebody who's already done something. They want that personal experience. 84% of people are more likely to share after they see something work in their own life, right? These are statistics that are absolutely proven that we need to become a product of a product so that people can trust us to be the voice of experience. There is so much information, so many videos, so many TikToks and YouTubes and all these things. I don't know what to trust anymore. And so I need somebody who can be that trusted voice. So the new person, when you're coaching them and mentoring them, they need to learn about the products. They need to create their own personal testimonial. They need to be able to talk about the products with confidence. They need to be authentic and honest because that's what we value more than anything today, right? And we need to be able to explain in simple terms. So if you're working with somebody and they're getting started and you say, have you placed your order yet? And they say no, that is an absolute must step. They have to make that first initial order. Okay, let's move on to step 3. Step 3, consistency, 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 right? The great philosopher Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, right? So if we want to become the best version of ourselves, that's not a one-time event. It's something we do consistently over and over. It's about supporting our physical, emotional, mental health. That's all about consistency. Building a successful business. Some people will do it, and this is what Jared talked about. It depends on how many hours in a week that they can spare. Some people will do it part-time. But I'll tell you what you can't do and be successful. You can't do it sometimes. I can't go to the gym sometimes, right? I can't go to the gym and then go again 4 months from now and go again a year from now and go away for 6 months. I'm not going to get the results that I want. If I'm tending to my field, I can't water the plants sometimes. I can't let them have sunlight sometimes. There has to be that consistency and process. For us, that consistency is auto order. If somebody isn't getting on auto order when they first get started, they are doing themselves a disservice, right? There is a benefit to them to be on auto order from a personal point of view, from a business point of view, and it also makes that commitment. It says that I'm going to do this, right? I'm making that commitment for better long-term results personally, in my health and nutrition, and in my business. It's also the best possible price. They have the no worries of being able to cancel any time, right? But it's about making that commitment, right? Without commitment, we never start. Without consistency, we never finish. And so if somebody's going to get started, they need to be on the product. They need to be on auto order. In fact, I've known leaders in the past that have said, I'm absolutely here to support you. One of the things that you show is your commitment is getting on auto order. If you're not on auto order, you're, welcome to USANA. I'm going to focus on the people that are committed and are consistent. So, okay, step 4, next slide. Know where to look. This is something that, again, I think it was Jared, and Joe was talking about, what fears do people have? And they say, well, I don't know what to say if somebody says this. I think we live in a time when there are more resources available through USANA than ever before, right? So it's the beauty of knowing that you are in business for yourself. You're an independent associate. But just because you're in business for yourself doesn't mean you're in business by yourself. There is an abundance of resources in the media center, in our YouTube channels, in the hub reports, all of these kind of things. And so I hope this translates well. Most people, when they get started in business, they think they have to be like Taylor Swift. I have to write the songs and I have to come up with that. But do you know what? Most successful entrepreneurs, especially within USANA, they're more like DJs, right? They're more like information DJs. that they know exactly the best songs to play. They know exactly the best songs to get people excited and play them in the order that people are going to kind of love. You are almost a professional pointer. Oh, I've got a question about this product. That's a great question. Let me send you a link. Right? Oh, I always wanted to know that. Oh, let me send you this. Let me give you this video. Right? Exactly what was talked about by other speakers before. And the number one resource that is just a crucial tool is that website, Ask the Scientists. Because you're going to get somebody that says, oh, I have a PhD in biomolecular science and I have a great question about this product. And you're going to panic and sweat and go, oh my gosh, I don't know the answer to that one, especially if I only joined last week. But here's the beauty. I could enroll with USANA today, be talking to somebody tonight, and they say, I'm a PhD in molecular science and I want to have a question. I'm so glad you asked that question. Let me connect you with one of the scientists who works for me that was in charge of that. They're going to be able to answer all of your questions. And you send them to askthescientist.com. All the information is there. They can also send in their request and get information directly from one of the 150 scientists that works for you in your USANA business. That's the power of partnering with USANA rather than just saying, hey, I'm just going to do this by myself. Right? So know where to look. Teach them where to look. Teach them where the resources are, and make sure you use Ask the Scientists. I can't stress that enough. Okay, next step, number 5. Okay, make a plan on who to share with. Sufi did a great job covering over this. Success doesn't happen by accident. It is a result of a plan. I don't care what business you're in. Every company in the world has a target segment of people they want to talk to. And we call it a list. They call it data, a database, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Every company has a list of people that they are emailing, targeting on social media, sending letters out in direct mail, whatever it is. And this is a business. You need to treat it like a business. And if you're going to do that, it's about making a plan on who you're going to share it with, who you're going to talk to, right? You've been given some great tools today on how to do that, right? Now, I think that the most effective thing is not just having a list. It is a list that you continually add to. If it's a one and done event, that list is going to run out at some point and sometimes quickly. The skill comes from being able to add names consistently. Oh, that reminds me of this person. Oh, I met this great person. They're going on the list. They're going on my list. I got to follow up with them. Okay. So make a plan on who to share with and keep updating that plan. I think in the beginning, you should be updating it daily. I think as you go on, you should be updating it weekly. But this is something, again, an expectation we need to give with the people that are joining our teams so that we can be responsible sponsors. All right. Step 6, next slide. Master how to share. Again, great training that we've had today. I love the scripts. Don't be afraid to have a script. Some people say, oh, well, I don't want to sound wooden. Master the script, right? You can then make it personal to you. And you can make it work for the person that you're speaking to, but it starts with having a base, a foundation. That's what's crucial. So you got to have that knowledge of how to share, and it is something that will get better, right? Jim Rohn talks about this in his Building Network Marketing Business, and Cicero, the philosopher, said, skill to do comes from the doing. It's about getting better at it, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. You've been given some other tips there. I really like the if I would you formula, okay? If I would you. So if I send you this video link, would you be able to watch it tonight? If I give you a sample, would you take it for 3 days and then follow up with me on Friday? If I would you, okay? And then again, this has been covered. Give options. Options are always great. Oh, I can't wait to follow up with you. I'd love to speak to you. Which is better, Tuesday or Thursday? Thursday, great. 7 or 9? 7, great. So I'll give you a call 7 on Thursday. Can't wait to speak. Okay. And then the mastering of how to share, set that expectation. You will get better, right? The more that you invite, the more that you do it, the better you get, right? What did Malcolm Gladwell say? 10,000 hours. The more that we do something, the better we get at it. But don't get discouraged at the no's. The no's get you closer to the yeses. All right. So here's your call to action for the new people. Start with 2 to 3 scripts. Don't be afraid to practice in front of the mirror with friends, with your upline, and then have a daily and weekly goal for how many people you're going to share with. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a target, you can't hit a target. That's what it really comes down to. And so we need to set that expectation. Step 7, next slide. All right. I really like, this is not necessarily a must do, but if somebody is wanting to announce on social media or something like that, I think Jared put this really well. What you want to do is pull people in to want to know more. Here's what most people do, right? Most people do. I just joined this company. Incredible. Here's the product. Here's the name of the company. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this. What we do is we give people so much information so quickly that they think, oh, well, I know everything I need to know. I don't need to follow up. What we want to do is we want to pull people in. We don't want to push too much onto them. Okay. Pulling is good. Pushing is bad. Right. So if it was me, I would encourage people to write something like this. If they say, no, I want to do a post and let people know that I'm in business, I'm all for it. I would post something like this that is going to pull people in. I have some exciting news. I have a goal to be better and to help others be better. So I've decided to do something about it. Today, it feels like there are more supplements, vitamins, diets, and programs than ever before. And most of us don't even know where to begin. Looking at what's available in most of the big box stores, nearly 90% of products don't match the label. That means that what's on the bottle is not what's in the bottle. And we wonder why they don't work. That got me thinking that there must be a better way. The good news is there is. I'm excited to launch my new business to help people find the right products and solutions to help support their health goals. And I need your help. If you've ever thought, man, I would really like to be healthier, I would love to be your guide to achieving your goal. If it's something you're interested in, please send me a text or a DM or comment, let's go. I'd be happy to take a few minutes to go over everything with you. So that's obviously a product focused one. You could be a business coach, a business consultant. You could make that work. That's how I would do it. I would pull people in. Okay, next slide. All right, so step 7 is now this: start sharing with people. If you're going to make an announcement, that was the script for that one. Here's the thing I can't stress enough. Remember that it's about them, not you, right? So when you're talking to people and you're sharing with them, what is the benefit for them? What is the solution for them? What is the outcome for them, right? People won't necessarily say it this way, but we are at our core as human beings a little bit inherently selfish, that we want things that are good for us. Why do I buy this product, not this product? Because this one works better for me. Why do I buy this brand of clothing rather than that? Because it fits me better. I think I look cooler in it. I think I look more handsome in it, whatever, right? And so it's about what's making it for them. And to do that, it's questions, right? Just as we've talked about today. And use the resources. Okay, plenty of resources. You sign a different presentation. We've got the pocket guide. There's videos, shareables in the media center, all that good stuff. So call to action for the new person that you're going to bring in. They need to be holding a minimum of 1 to 2 information meetings every week. Now, those info meetings can be at home, they can be in a coffee shop, they can be on Zoom, they can be in one-on-ones, they can be in groups. Talk to your person that brought you in, your upline, your sponsor, your mentor. They're going to be able to help you with that. But the commitment is that it has to be consistent, right? That's what we're going to have to do. All right. Next step, step 8. This is where the fortune comes. Fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to follow up and mentor these people. Too often I see when people join, the person who sponsors them goes, oh my gosh, thank goodness they joined, done, right? I can leave them alone now. And that's the worst thing that you can do, because that new person is joined and says, okay, I'm ready, I'm excited, let's go. Where did my sponsor go? Where did my mentor go? I don't know what I wanted to do. Part of the reason I wanted to do this business was I wanted a trusted guide to show me how to do it. Okay. That's the key thing, is following up and mentoring them. So I would say that as a new person, if somebody was to join, if I was joining under somebody, I would want them to follow up with me every day for a week, right? Even if it's for 5 minutes. Hey, I'm so excited you're getting started. I'm really thinking we've got you set up. We've gone through this. So here's what's going to do. I'm going to follow up with you every day this week, just for 5, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I want to make sure you're getting answers to your questions. You're watching the videos. You're doing this, doing the work, blah, blah, blah. Right? Then I'm going to follow up with you once a week for a month. You can get hold of me anytime, but I'm going to follow up with you every week for a month. And then I'm going to follow up with you every month for a year. What I've done with that is I've made that commitment to them, and they're making a commitment back to me that they are going to do this for a year, because I'm planning to follow up with you for a year. And remember this, we have what people want. So the follow-up is where people get nervous. Oh, I did the whole presentation, but I wasn't sure what to say to them after that. People want what we have. 76% of Americans would like to start their own business. People are looking for multiple income streams. They're looking for additional ways to make income. Okay. That is really it. So there are my 8 steps of a launch plan that I would do, right? Based on everything that you've learned today. All the information from the slides, all of the steps comes from what you've learned today. Next slide. All right. You look at this map, and I put this here before, and I said about commitment and consistency, because those first 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's about somebody who's starting making a commitment, right? They're doing the things that they need to do. And then steps 5 through 8, they're the steps of consistency that I'm going to do over and over and over. Because if somebody introduces somebody, so let's say that it's me, just as an example, right? I'm going to start and I write down my why, I get my product, I get an auto order, I learn where everything is, I make my list, I send out some invitations, I do my presentations, I follow up and sign them up. Then what do? I sit down with them and I say, let's get you started. Here's 8 steps. Let's start with why. And so the cycle continues and you have that duplication, because that's the beauty of this business, right? We showed in that the first slide that I showed, you're not alone. This is how you grow, and multiple hands. Many hands make light work is that old saying, right? Commitment and consistency. And even you, when you get to step 8, right, with your new person, you then go back to step 5, plan. Who am I going to share with? Who am I talking to? Do a presentation. And I'm going to do those consistently. That's how I grow my business. That's how I achieve the new ranks and the new levels of success that I have in my goals. Commitment and consistency. Why do I keep saying those words over and over and over again? Next slide. It's because of this quote. And this quote means so much to me. Everyone has a dream. Everyone has a goal. This is what Denzel Washington, who's a 2-time Oscar-winning actor. Everyone knows Denzel Washington, one of the most successful Hollywood actors. Some say the best actor of all time. And this is what he says. Dreams without goals are just dreams. And ultimately, they fuel disappointment. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But without consistency, you'll never finish. Without commitment, you'll never start. Without consistency, you'll never finish. Your job as somebody who is now a pace setter is to set the pace for the people that will join your business after you, right? The people that you're going to introduce to. You are setting the pace for them so that they can achieve their goals, so that they can achieve their dreams, right? And to do it, it takes that work, it takes that planning, it takes all of these steps. And it takes consistency and commitment, which goes along with all. So I want to say a big thank you again to all of our speakers. I hope this has been as useful for you as I know it has been for us. I love to have these sessions where we learn and grow and build together. Now is the time where we are starting the next chapter. This is not the end. This is only just the beginning of your journey with USANA. So let's get out there. Let's share the vision of Dr. Wentz with so many people so that they can have the blessings and opportunity that you've been given as well. So Josh, Maggie, back over to you.
Wow, Steve, that was fantastic. What a way to wrap up this wonderful training. I mean, this was 3 hours of training, but it went by super fast. It went by so fast because there was such great content. Steve, that was awesome. Just a great way to wrap it up and kind of bookend everything that we've learned today. I want to congratulate again the pace setters for being able to be here and for you being here, because the idea here is to help you catapult your business even further. And so I encourage you to attend the future trainings that we hold. I know we're doing trainings all the time, so be sure to join those trainings all the time. Implement the things that you were taught today. Make sure that you're practicing, that you're following up, that you're implementing all of the wonderful scripts that we've seen and just advice that you were given. You've been given a wonderful resource now, and now it's up to you to go implement what you've learned. I always